there's a guy down here. This should be a place kind of marked for us, but there seems to be nothing here. Huh? Wait, there seems to be someone. Dang, I want to heal. Oh, you're over there. Don't watch, just save me.
Reveal thyself. Strike.
Water jet.
There's no end to these stupid mecha. Oh, my lovely, muscular legs are now full of these horrid welts and bruises. Thank you, friend. If it weren't for you, I'd still be taking a beating from this mecha. Oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Desnos, a member of the Fontaine Research Institute, and an assistant researcher. Oh, so I used to be. Now I'm responsible for receiving the adventurers who've come here for recruitment and conducting preliminary qualification reviews. They're called preliminary qualification reviews, but it's more just me checking if they're carrying all the proper documentation with them. So, tell me about the Institute's commission. Oh, you're here for the recruitment too? Sorry, please excuse my manners. Let's talk business then, shall we? Did you bring all the documents with you? If not, I can help you with the ones you're missing. Got them all right here. That took hours. One proof of adventure qualifications, and one 30-day travel history, all nice and clear. This will do just fine. I notice you've only got one adventure handbook with you. I'm going to need you to show me all the adventure handbooks you've used and are currently using, so I can take a photo of them. This is the only one I have. Well, you're quite the young and promising one then. No matter, it's easier having everything in one book anyway. Now for your commission history, income statement, commission evaluation, info commission statistics, and average positive ratings. You're very hardworking, and you've quite the income too. Good faith commitment, a notice of liability, a notice of obligation, and a notice of exemptions on information released for legal purposes. The last one wasn't really necessary, but oh well, still. Very good, well done. All your documentation's with you. Thank heavens, you're the only candidate within the past 2 weeks who actually prepared all the proper documents. Now, all you need to do is go to the Fontaine Research Institute to undergo a final review. I was meant to be the one to take you there, but those stupid mecha injured my leg. It's okay, just tell us where it is, and we'll head on over there ourselves. Sounds good. I'll mark the location down your map. Oh, and by the way, I suggest you head straight for the roof and talk to Mr. Nakar. The Institute sent him to work in the area. You can go talk to him. There are lots of Clockwork mecha in the nearby wilds. He's definitely going to need a formidable guard. Wait, we haven't passed your final review yet? Why are you assigning us work already? And there's no compensation either. Well now, just hear me out. Mr. Nack is a senior researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute, who once even did research under Edward, so he's got some sway in the Institute. If you were to get along well with him, and incidentally demonstrate your capabilities to him to prove your worth, then you're going to have much better chances of passing the review. So what you're saying is that we should help this Mr. Naka and thank him for the privilege while we're at it? Precisely. You can tell him, before arriving at the Fontaine Research Institute for the final review, Mr. Desnos has first tasked me with being your guard and ensuring your safety. Anyway, I won't hold you up any longer. You should be on the roof. I've still got two. Ouch, my leg. Stupid mecha. Fontaine Research Institute Chronicles. To support the development of the research at the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering, it has been decided through internal discussions to initiate Phase 2 expansion for the Institute, with Senior Research Raimondo Havenport in charge of said project. After thorough investigation, argumentation, analysis, and research, it has been concluded that the eastern region of Liffey has favourable geography, excellent transportation conditions, and faces no threat from wild monsters, making it a highly suitable location for the second Fontaine Research Institute. The project is currently suspended because Raimondo Havenport has been transferred to the position of Senior Technician for the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering. During Phase 2 of the Fontaine Research Institute expansion project, construction workers discovered an undocumented human excavated tunnel that led to the private lab of the deceased senior researcher Bravier. The research facility was found undamaged. The Mason Gason has been briefed, pending further action. Wasn't there like multiple things to read? I guess not. Or maybe something here to read. Oh. External Reconstruction Support FAQ. Required documentation and registration information for adventures. Temporary. Commission resume, income statement, information regarding commission evaluations, commission statistics, total number of stars, rating, proof of adventure qualifications, travel history for the prior 30 days per period, all past and current adventure handbooks, habitual residence, contact address, contact information, emergency contact, your current name, names you've used in the past, any pseudonyms and or aliases, statement of good faith, liability notice, obligation notice, and disclaimer notices. If the adventurer has not brought complete documentation with them, the gaps should be plugged on the spot in a timely manner. Any applicant with a criminal record or who are suspects will be turned over to authorities immediately. Right. Okay, I guess we'll head up the stairs. Oh, what is this? I've said this many times, Miss Connie. Rebuilding the Fontaine Research Institute is our only goal right now. You've said the same thing 3 times now. I know all too well that when you guys start repeating things like robots, there's definitely something big that you're trying to hide. Think what you like. As for the numerous issues you mentioned earlier, I suggest you could talk to Mr. Raimondo. What? Is he going to tell me all the things the Fontaine Research Institute is hiding? No, but his ways of beating around the bush might be more sincere. Anyway, Miss Connie, I have my own business to attend to. The next one in line has been waiting for quite a while now. Hello, how can I help you? Are you Mr. Naka? Yes, I am. You introduced yourself to Naka and described the final review situation. Upon mentioning Desnos, you remember what he last told you. Before formally arriving at the Fontaine Research Institute for the final review, Mr. Desnos has first tasked me with being your guard and ensuring your safety. I see. Thank you for replying, Mr. Dedvid. And I suppose I must also thank Mr. Desnos' injured leg. The wilds around here do pose many dangers, and having an adventurer capable of passing the preliminary qualification review by my side would be a lot safer. I can't act like I didn't hear that. What dangers are there exactly, if I may ask? According to the investigations, lots of archaeum flew out of the Institute when it exploded. Will the uncontrolled archaeum radiate energy? Will it contaminate the surrounding environment? Whoa! Wouldn't this entire area be contaminated then? Suddenly feel somewhat short of breath. That's just your imagination at work. After leaving its catalytic environment, archaeum immediately returns to an inert state. It won't radiate or contaminate anything. It is apparent that Miss Crony's way of phrasing her concerns brought you unnecessary misunderstandings. Mr. David, may I take another look at your documents? If you really wish to escort me, then we'll have to take something of a detour. I'm going to a few nearby places to review the technological assets of the Institute and nab some documents along the way. Who's this lady next to you? Some reporter, that's all. Indeed, that's what I am. It's a great honor to meet you, Mr. Dedman. I've heard your name from my colleague many times before. I'm Connie, a journalist for the political affairs section of the Steambird. If you have time, could we arrange a time and have a chat? And of course, Miss Paimon is also welcome to join. I'm also very interested in your adventures. Let me see, how does next Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday sound to you guys? Even this Saturday could work. We can go for a cup of coffee. I'm available all those days, actually. But, I don't know. Or how about right now? You guys stay here and chat, and I'll go about my work duties. That won't do. I've already reserved today's entire interview schedule for you. Sorry, Mr. David Paimon. We'll have to chat another time. That's okay. We've got work to do today anyway. We need to escort Miss Naka first. I must stress again that I'm not just an ordinary researcher now, and I have no further information to give you. Plus, we've also got tedious and meaningless work ahead of us. Even if you go ahead and interview me, you won't get any useful information from it. There won't be a problem, Mr. Knuckle. All work has its own unique value, and it's our job to uncover it. Don't worry about me. Suit yourself then. Let's get going, David. According to the schedule, there's a document we need to get the Institute's executive office. Hopefully, Conjat wasn't caught up with some other work. This is it here. Hang on a second while I go find Miss Conjat. Well, what's that place? A building floating in the air? Paimon gets it. This must be one of those magical. I only want the second floor. Just cut the first floor out. Buildings you hear about in the stories. The Fontaine Research Institute science is the finest in the world. Was this caused by the accident? Indeed it was. What you're seeing now is the central laboratory of Fontaine Research Institute, or should I say, what was once the central laboratory. Mr. Edwin Eastinghouse was once within, trying to develop a field generator using archium. Initial estimates indicate that the device could lift an entire block of buildings. My guess is that the experiment didn't turn out so well. Of course, Mr. Edwin had not left 2/3 of the Fontaine Research Institute in ashes. He would have been a shoo-in for the post for the next director. And today, the heavy responsibilities that belong to the post of director, including a lifelong stipend and private dwelling, must be borne by the likes of Chausiel and Raimondo. Paimon wonders what kind of people Raimondo and Chausiel are. According to the other evaluations of my peers, they are the type who can speak to you for an entire day without saying anything. I want to put that to the test. Of course you do. So it is exceedingly accurate to say that Mr. Chausiel's talents are irreplaceable. Look, David, the location of your final review is the former location of the Alain Guillotine Research Institute, and now the current residence of the Institute. Before the incident, weekly lectures were held there regarding critical projects. Of course, the old administrative functions are still in effect and can handle the final review. What's that plaza for? There are even some seats around it. Is it an amphitheater of some kind? Ah, I have heard colleagues stationed at the Institute speak of this place. Oh, that's the girl. That is the sacred ground to Fontainians, the place where Fonta was born. Oh. Refreshing Fonta, refreshment. Ahem. That is the Fontaine Research Institute's academic assembly hall, and is dedicated to the purpose of displaying the fruits of our research, such as the combat-capable artifice dancers, the gramophone, and turbine-powered glider. Turbine-powered glider? Among others. Where can we get one of those? Previous analysis of the Institute assets show that of the items I mentioned previously, Fonta may be the only scientific achievement that remains legally profitable. I couldn't help but notice your wording contained a few baseless accusations. I'm glad you noticed. In that case, would you mind giving me your opinion of the ongoing criminal activity of selling off research materials from within the Institute? It is absolutely vile, and those involved in the matter ought to be arrested in accordance with the law. Huh. Well then, wait, there's two girls here? Well then, out of those with access to the Institute technical assets and the capacity to commit such a crime, who do you believe it was exactly? Could it be possible that it was a criminal? David, let's keep moving. I need to go to a file storage room first and retrieve a survey anchor, which we can use to monitor the strength of the energy flows. It's not far, let's go. Who's the second person? Oh, Conjat. Was she part of the conversation, or was she just standing here? This document needs to be filed, and this one rewritten. There's so much to do. I think she was just there. Okay. To thoroughly investigate the Institute's loss of assets, effective today, funding approval for the auxiliary robo-arm, hollow propulsion wind glider, and autonomous circuit aquabus projects is suspended, pending further reviews of finances and assets. We got the ladder to get in? Weird entrance. Does say higher though, so, yep. Oh, there's another entrance, never mind. It wouldn't let us investigate. Mr. Naka, you've finally come. We came across a little hiccup on the way. Never mind that. Have you retrieved the survey anchor yet? I was just about to bring that up with you. I don't know if it was due to the explosion, but the supporting tools that we've kept here are all damaged. You should know, if you don't use the proper tools to retrieve the anchors, you'll be subject to being struck by high-intensity Archeum energy flows. Ooh, intense energy flow from the Archeum? Got it. Huh? What I just said was just... I didn't... Relax, sweetie. You're merely speaking the truth. It's not like you offended anyone. What Mr. Shamlet said was indeed the truth. I hope that I can say the same for you for what you shall write. Whenever the truth is placed right before me, I never pretend that it's not there. That would be a mistake. Is that so? Well, it only takes the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but it always takes a bit more brain power to avert your gaze from it. It's clear that they're not having an argument with each other, but why does Paimon still feel the vibe is even scarier than if they were? Hurry and think of something. Let's deal with the semi-anchor first, shall we? You're right. Miss Shamlet, let's go examine the anchor. Okay then. That said, the area where it's located is still blocked. I'll go ahead and open these ports and unblock it. David, as I recall, you're an adventurer who came for the recruitment, yes? Well, when assisting our institute in its work, you'll sometimes be required to carry out certain precise operations. I'd like to see your practical capabilities first. Could you please go and help Miss Shamlet operate the energy transfer terminal to clear the area where the survey anchor is of obstructions? So the review has already begun? You could say that. If you pass the final review, then we'll do a detailed competency assessment for you. After all, everyone excels at different things, and the work they can take on also differs. And so their compensation will differ as well? How very blunt of you, but you're not wrong. Ooh, then we gotta show our worth, David. Just treat this as an early assessment. Miss Shamlet is over there. She'll explain to you how to operate the terminal. Please follow our instructions and unblock the area as soon as you can. I'll be watching you from the side. Okay. Okay, what are you guys talking about? If I may, Mr. Naka, could you explain what would happen if someone were to be directly hit by the intense energy flowing from Archeum? Coma, subcutaneous bleeding, vomiting, and so on. Would you like me to list them all one by one? If the survey anchors really are that dangerous, why would you place them in a room? You know, it feels like you're placing a coffee maker. I've already repeatedly emphasized that as long as you follow operating procedures correctly, you should not be at any risk of direct contact with said energy flows. As for why they're locked in a room, well, it's to prevent certain idiots from taking any anchors away without authorization, of course. They have no idea how they work and just figure they might as well sell some shiny things for a profit. We've hung up signs, distributed flyers, and even specially organized a lecture to try and tell everyone that not only were they worthless, but they also could do you harm. However, the anchors continue to be stolen, and thus we've had no choice but to lock them up in a room. This is the truth. Are you happy now? Jeez. Ooh, can I just do it? I don't know if I should be doing this yet, but This is test text for cipher letters. I haven't thought of any suitable scenarios where this tech can be applied, considering that the energy transfer terminals and receiving terminals aren't widespread in Fontaine. The use of encrypted images would be limited to within the Fontaine Research Institute. Tailhard just loves coming up with such useless inventions. I've already warned him not to vandalize the place. The encrypted messages use a special paint that requires an essentially special solvent to remove. The formula for the solvent needs to remove the encrypted messages recorded below. Text below has been removed. Huh. Oh wait, hang on. Want to actually use it. And grab that. Switch over to here. And power that up. There's a chest. Oh, I think that was what I was meant to do. I didn't even ask for help. Excellent work! The lock has been opened. Your abilities to quickly grasp mechanics and execute are both outstanding, and your value far exceeds the vast majority of those who participate in experiments. I will truthfully report your performance as such. So what's next? Whoa! Mr. Connie, what's gone into you? I suddenly feel like I'm gonna throw up. What did she do? Miss Carney, please drink this medicine. Exposed survey anchors radiate within archeum energy traces, and the place we are in now has also been affected somewhat. However, this energy level won't leave permanent adverse effects on the body. Just take this medicine, you'll be fine. Ugh, it tastes terrible, forget it. I guess this is also kind of first-hand experience. David, these 2 bottles are for the 2 of you. Please drink them quickly. I'm feeling fine, let Paimon drink it. But Paimon isn't feeling any discomfort either. Plus, the medication doesn't taste so good, right? Paimon would rather not take it. Really? That's quite interesting. And is completely at odds with the results of the Applications of Archeum Risk Report 3rd edition. We all should have been affected by the same amount of Archeum energy. We're constantly journeying over the mountain seas. We're way stronger than the people you've got working here. Correction. You can now assume that all of the Fontaine Research Institute staff are now working out in the open, beneath the sun and stars. Your report might consider mentioning the difficult work conditions we are enduring, Miss Connie. Ah, I've been wronged without having been notified in advance. The Steambird won't just let this go. Putting this all aside, you clearly have an extremely strong innate tolerance of the energy flow, David. If so, you're certainly the best candidate to assist the Institute, without question. Please approach the storage room and report any dizziness, nausea, itchiness, or any other discomfort you feel during the process. Hold on there. Are you using David as a guinea pig, without fulfilling your obligation to inform him of the risks first? It's clearly stated in the Institute our externally contracted employee agreement appendix C41, which he signed. Prior to being officially employed, the applicant shall be subject to a harmless archeum energy flow tolerance test, and the Institute has the right to terminate the contract based upon the results of said test. I hate reading text. Who the heck reads all that? Well, that's why I always want to read stuff. You chose not to exercise your right to read the text, but each document was clearly marked. Please sign your name after carefully reading the document and making sure there are no mistakes. However, seeing as you are completely unaffected by the energy flow, I believe you may just be the person we're looking for. In any case, let's get down to business. Take 3 steps towards the storage room and then hold still for 30 seconds. Follow Naka's series of complicated instructions and then approach the room. They're just standing there. Oh, we've gone past the chest, bro. We've gone this far, but Paimon still doesn't feel anything. Do you feel any discomfort? Oh, my head. Feels like it's gonna explode. I'm feeling the same as always. Hee hee, that's a relief then. Paimon was worrying about you. about how she'd carry you out of here if you suddenly passed out. Although, we've come all this way, we can't just see Naka or what the others anymore, and it doesn't seem like we hear them either. What do we do next? Paimon knows. Maybe we'll check some sort of box in here and communicate with us through that. So do they have do they even have technology that cool? We'll find out soon enough. Paimon can't wait to see what kind of cool gadgets they might use to communicate with us. David, can you hear me? Ooh, so they rely on the technology of shouting really loud. I can hear you. Do you guys feel any discomfort? Everything's good. That's great. Please continue on the survey anchor. You should be able to see it now. Once you retrieve it, it will definitely fall into the dormant state and stop radiating energy, and then we'll be able to come in. Be careful if you feel uncomfortable, then we'll get out of here. Bro. The voice I do for Paimon's always so inconsistent.
What do we have here?
Oh, this is the door I tried to get through before. There seems to be a reference book intended to be part of impractical techniques. The book lists a great number of issues that Fontainians are quite unlikely to encounter in their daily lives and provides rigorous logical solutions to said problems. However, both the title and page and ending contain requests from the author for readers to not do such things in practice. We just retrieve it. Okay. You actually managed to retrieve the survey anchor without any instruments, like it was nothing. That's amazing! Last time, we needed at least 3 of us acting together to retrieve an anchor. Aha! I'm most certain that you're exactly the talent we've been looking for. With your help, all of our work is going to go much more smoothly. Alright, I'll keep it for now. Let's leave this place and report back to the Institute post-haste. Hang on, where's Mr. Cronny? Mama doesn't see her anywhere. She was feeling nauseous, so she stayed up there to rest. But don't worry, she's already taken her medicine. She just needs a little time. Oh, she's here. Huh? Miss Cronny, what are you doing here? A bunch of mechalots suddenly showed up outside. They're on my heels, about to storm in. Leave it to me. Look out, over there.
Gotcha. A biscuit reprise. Time for a light show.
Oh no, I used it already. Wait. It's actually pretty bad.
Lighter, please.
Okay, whatever.
Insolent. Uphill battle. Rest and rebuild. Permanent.
My switching is not working properly today. Okay. Phew, lucky the travelers here. These were probably the Clockwork mecha that the Institute used before to monitor the energy flow, as they're equipped with Archeum energy flow monitoring devices. Although they're now out of control, they still automatically converged here upon detecting the energy flow from Archeum. Mr. Naka, should the Fontaine Research Institute be held accountable for these out-of-control mecha in the wilds? I don't object to that at all. They should be held accountable. Oh? If you truly have a way to have those buried in the ground rise up and speak again... Also, I sincerely suggest that you stay here and rest, Miss Cronny. Mr. Chosiel and Raimondo are at the Institute's new site, and they aren't going anywhere. Once you feel better, then you can go and interview them. Yeah, you felt so sick that you could barely even stand. Don't push yourself too hard. Your health is essential. No, I can't. Interviewing Chosiel is the final step, not the beginning. That's why I'm following Miss Naka around. I want to experience everything firsthand and get tangible evidence. I have to question Chosiel with evidence in hand. That way he won't be able to beat around the bush like last time. And lo and behold, I've now personally experienced this so-called harmless Archeum energy flow. No? Once I get to the Fontaine Research Institute, I'm definitely going to uncover all of the hidden truths. I truly admire your professionalism, Miss Cronny. But are you sure you'll be able to handle the rest of the way there? Don't worry, I'll be right behind you guys. I'm a reporter after all. Executive Office, located at the intersection between the Leafy and Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering regions, primarily responsible for the Institute's various administrative tasks. Academic Assembly Hall, a venue for showcasing the products of the Institute's research to the public. The circular designed exhibition hall allows it to accommodate a larger audience while providing a better view. Central Laboratory, located in the heart of the Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering, it has the most advanced instruments in Fontaine. Currently, the primary research undertaken there is related to the experimental field generator. Text that follows is too marred to be discernible. The literary work of fiction. In this book, the entire Fontaine Research Institute is transported to a fantasy world, and many researchers go on adventures together in this other world. There's a note stuck at the end of the text, the following comments written on it. Why do I still have to carry mechanisms and fight monsters, even in another world? How is this any different from real life? Is this what counts for popular novels within the Institute circles? You might as well write one in which Mr. Edwin travels to another world with his Archeum. Please refrain from placing novels inside the materials office. Also, Mr. Edwin has stated that he has no interest in traveling to other worlds. Marianne Memorial Park. Marianne Memorial Park? Wait, we're here. This is Marianne Memorial Park. Let's see if there's any assets can be recovered. This is a park, but it doesn't look like a park at all. When the explosion happened, this place was hit by the first shockwaves. The buildings were destroyed. There might be paper that survived. Odd copies of the Steamberg, just toss them. They won't be useful. Financial reports of the Research Institute, looking at the year, the date. Best take them with us. Okay.
Take it easy.
Miniaturized personal recording device, experimental results, not bad. Melee will be glad to see this. These materials are so broken up, they're just detritus now. Leave them be. Okay. Oh, now we have to go this direction. I already went here. Let me see. Oh, there must be something on the storage drums over there. Is this pile of storage drums also Institute property? I guess so, but we'll need to remove them. Well, oh, we actually... Okay. Alright. There seems to really not be anything of value here. Time to move on. She's just hiding in the bushes. A researcher who once worked together with Edwin Eastinghouse is now kicking storage drums around in a junk heap. Wow. Meanwhile, the Fontaine Research Institute still complains about being short-handed, huh? The way these researchers go about things is truly unfathomable. What? Everybody's worth is reflected in different ways, and kicking storage drums is my way of doing so these days. But I've heard that prior to Edwin's big screw-up, you had quite some sway in the Institute. Some might even say that you were second only to Edwin himself. Eh? You're that powerful? That no longer means anything. Now I'm merely someone who was fortunate to survive this project, and one of the culprits who turned the Central Laboratory into what it is today. This is the only information I can offer you, Miss Crony. Well, I believe that was plenty. Let me write that down. Huh? Where's my pen and notebook? My whole bag disappeared. I put it right next to the strange-looking mecha just now. Where'd they go? You mean the one behind you? Huh? Help! Okay.
There is no escape.
Oh, we didn't use the alarms first. Hang on. This is going to take longer than previous.
Here come the fireworks!
Illusion shattered. Torn to oblivion.
Okay. What's up with these mecha monsters? Why do they sometimes... and stop moving others? I fear someone could have answered your questions is now, well, indisposed. Let's hurry up to the Institute. Needs the final preparations. Question. Now we'll move on. Raimondo! Nothing could go wrong here, right? Everything is running according to the set orbit, Choiseul. Round and round it goes, without any errors. Error-free, everything might be, but I'm just worried about getting dizzy. Mr. Choiseul, Mr. Raimondo. Ah, Naka, it's great to see you. Have you taken care of the survey anchors? I trust that you've done as you always have. Complete your tasks to perfection. I have. Allow me to give you a brief report. With David's assistant, the anchor was successfully retrieved without any equipment. That's unbelievable! You were able to retrieve one without the use of any instruments? Goodness, thank heavens. The entire institute right now only has 3 complete sets of such equipment, and I was honestly worried as to how we might retrieve the anchors as soon as possible. I didn't really do anything special. Yeah, it felt just like any other commission that I've done before. No. For you to have retrieved an anchor at all is special enough as is. Is there any critical data in the anchor, Mr. Choiseul? Haha, of course not. Some insignificant data, Miss Crony. I agree with you. After all, there's no way for insignificant data to radiate with harmful Archeum energy flows, is there? Energy flow? Of course, it's necessary. Must exist, as a technological means of preserving the... What I'd really like to know is why the Fontaine Research Institute would place these survey anchors to monitor the Archeum energy flow after the explosion. Certainly. Obviously, these survey anchors are, used for monitoring... Miss Connie took so fast, like... A bopper flower spitting fireballs. Yeah, that's fast. Allow me to be more specific. How exactly is the Fontaine Research Institute planning to deal with this explosion? Ah, yes, I was just about to answer that question. This was an excellent question to ask, as many people are concerned about it. Miss Connie, I'm so delighted that you've come to visit again. I must stress on behalf of Miss Choiseul that the Institute has never changed its solution to the explosion. Once we have recovered all of the retrievable research assets of the old site, we will demolish the old central laboratory and do our best to restore the area's natural environment to its original state. By the central laboratory, you mean that building floating in the air? How are you going to demolish a building like that? Blow it up, just like before? Of course, we shan't be using such crude and simple solutions. This demolition will utilize our newly researched experimental field generator. This device can deactivate the gravity-altering field that surrounds the Institute's ruins and land them on the ground safely. But wasn't this device also within said ruins? And wasn't it also work of Edwin Eastinghouse that used Archeum as its energy source? So, based on what you're saying, the Fontaine Research Institute is still unwilling to give up this harmless Archeum project? Yes? I think they're not giving it up so easily. You've been keeping up with what she's been saying? Nope, I just repeated the last sentence. Hey, you've been doing this to pretend that you understand what's going on? Anyway, the Fontaine Research Institute is trying to do dangerous stuff in dangerous ways, right? A great summary, Miss Paimon. If we're discussing uncontrolled risks, well, even walking on the road may be dangerous. Also, you should note that the energy source we're using is the completely new and stable tri-state Archeum. How does that differ from normal Archeum? Does the new world in front of it mean anything? This, to me, seems like a purely rhetorical maneuver. I'm sure Mr. Choiseul would be happy to have an in-depth conversation with you about grammar, but I've left Mr. Naka hanging for too long, and really, that's just impolite. Mr. Naka, I trust that you've done everything that I've asked. With David's help, everything couldn't have gone any better. Is this an adventurer who came for recruitment? Naka recounts to Raimondo everything that happened, emphasizing the amazing talent you've displayed when retrieving the survey anchor. He also briefly touches on Connie's ironclad professionalism, as well as the severe vomiting reaction she had. From the joking look on Naka's face, there seems to be no ill intent. Is it just about the committed reporter? Or so you assume. That is rare. Extremely rare. I'm delighted that you're applying for work at the Institute, David. After hundreds of years of bad luck, we're finally catching a break. I'm confident that you'll be able to of great help to us. Here are the documents I signed. Oh, leave them over there. Don't worry about them. Huh? Are you going to take a look at them? We've spent ages on them, and Mr. Desnos also took them very seriously. Mr. Desnos. Ha ha ha! These documents definitely have their uses. They certain help us weed idiots out, at least. As for you, however, I believe that your good qualities go far beyond what they can surmise. So, let's leave them alone for now. So what you're saying is, we pass the review? Without a doubt, yes. I will personally prepare the contract and notice that you'll need to sign for follow-up work. Until then, Miss Naka? Yes? Well, Miss Connie appears to be having a discussion about energy safety with Miss Choiseul. Mr. Choiseul, how about you take David to retrieve the last 2 survey anchors? The energy flow control operations are nearing completion. All that's left is to compile the data. Oh well, at least it's under control. Are you guys heading somewhere else? I'll come along too. That reporter lady sure has pretty good ears. Okay. Slide down a bit. Enter this place. Okay. Is this where the researchers spend their downtime? Is this even humane? Has the Fontaine Research Institute ever considered making renovating this place a priority? There should be a survey anchor here, just like Miss Connie implied. This place needs renovation, and the power supply here is very limited. Or perhaps I should say, there's a complete shortage. While I'm answering Miss Connie's questions, I'll leave the job of recovering the survey anchor to you, David. I'm surprised it's dealing with it for so long. Okay. Compared to the other areas, the dormitories weren't impacted as much by the explosion. Dormitories? But I don't see even one bed here, so how do researchers get any rest? It's not like they sleep in any chairs, right? Miss Connie, your idea of resting is very different from that of the researchers. When a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute says they need rest, they only want a quick break for their brain. Then they would usually come here, play piano, read and have a drink or two if necessary. But wouldn't sleeping provide more rest for the brain? You may be correct, but to our researchers, sleeping is a waste of time in the first place. Sleeping is a waste of time? No, it's essential for rest. Sleeping completely cuts your train of thought short, and that's just not acceptable for our research work. Keep listening. Are you being serious? If you don't sleep, the only thing that'll be cut short is your life. Not necessarily. The Institute boasts an excellent healthcare system that guarantees researchers' health and well-being. But it's still no reason to not sleep. Also, if researchers are here to give their brains a break, wouldn't that break their thought process from the research anyway? Not necessarily. It only seems like they're taking a break when actually they're still pondering different academic subjects subconsciously. It's akin to the vast ocean that, while appearing calm on the surface, still has a strong undercurrent beneath. Sometimes the undercurrents below are much stronger than the towering waves above. I get it. So you mean that researchers of the Fontaine Research Institute are on a project they must keep working and not allowed to rest, right? That is not completely fair to say. If they truly need sleep, they're free to go back home and do just that. So it's fair to say that as long as the researchers of the Fontaine Research Institute are inside the Institute, they must keep working and not allowed to rest. Your rhetoric is simply astounding, Miss Connie. What? Okay, I'll admit that time I didn't actually follow. Fully. Mainly because I don't know what the word rhetoric means exactly. I want to take a nap, but I've got to go to a project meeting later today, so I can't sleep. No falling asleep. Okay, jeez. How I wish our research project leader would stop barging in during lunch to talk about work. You could cut the air with a knife. The free coffee at the Institute is getting worse. It tastes like a sawdust soaked in water. I may as well drink Fanta. Alas, I do not know when I can be transferred to another group. I really don't want to continue research on this smart lie detector of Professor Mercer's anymore. Without resources inherited from him, we're like chefs working on a crafting bench. Just isn't working out. I've heard that the Institute has commissioned some adventurers to search for his base. If you ask me, they could just restart the project then, right? It's not like numbers are going to help us catch up with him if we've got to force the research through while having no material to work with. Right, we've got the Oasia block. Alright, that opens that. Experiment day. The lab equipment that was ordered hasn't arrived yet. No choice. All I can do is force myself to go to Hotel de Bois with Mr. Poitier. Mr. Poitier recommended the seasonal poisson oyster with salation caviar and a fine chardon. The poisson oysters were unquestionably the best. Full body texture, plump, soft, and juicy flavor, lingering on the tip of the tongue like a gentle sea breeze. However, the minute Miss Poitier ate them, it could be said to seem a bit inelegant, as the juice accidentally squirted all over the napkin. Such lack of etiquette would definitely be laughed at by others. Anyway, I lectured him about it. Now, if only he would take this to heart. After all, etiquette is like food. Inferior ingredients can certainly be compensated for through superiority culinary techniques, so there shouldn't be any need to discriminate in terms of quality of ingredients. Even so, people always prefer premium food with premium ingredients. Experiment day. The lab equipment ordered before still hasn't arrived. No choice. All I can do is force myself to watch an opera with Miss Poitier. The refreshments were as tasty as ever, but the play was only passable at best. As far as tragedies go, the farewell scene between Irenaeus and Egeria at least succeeded in squeezing a few tears out of some members of the audience, such as Mr. Poitier, though it was expected, given his tastes, not laughter. There's nothing innately wrong with attempting to show the plot unfolding from the perspective of multiple characters, but if it cannot be all tied back together and the theme properly expressed, and instead completely relies on sensationalizing the climax to cover up all the flaws, then it is absolutely a misguided approach. Take, for example, the adaptation of the famous Loch Night tale, titled Mounted Pylon and the Pure Grail. The comedy I previously attended with Miss Poitier, see Lab Report page 17. It was a superior production in every way. As the great master Alcofribus said, "'Tis better to pen laughter than tragedy, for laughter gives strength and fortifies the will." Not to mention how mortifying Mr. Poitier's bawling was. Experiment day. The lab equipment previously ordered still hasn't arrived. It appears it may have gotten lost in transit. Can't do anything but force myself to reorder the equipment and then go to a cafe with Lutece with Mr. Poitier once more. Oh, pick up. Oh, we can move it? Yo. I don't know why we're moving it, but I guess that makes sense. I didn't assume we could move it. Oh, it's got a radius? Okay. We just place it here now. And that activates, so we can start it and open the room. Nice. Looks like the collection work is proceeded apace. There's no time to lose. Let's go to the next location. Alright. No, it's easier to just take the... Oh, no, there's Clockwork Mecha here too! They've been attracted by the energy spill. Please be cautious.
Here comes the catch. There is no escape.
A mystic reprise! Fire hazard! Up and away!
There should be a servo anchor here too. I'll open the door and leave the recovery to you, David. Alright, okay, cool. Thanks for opening the door.
Hold the line!
Busted. Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
Right. Oh, activated. Oh, never mind. Cool. Activate it again. No, I just want to claim the drops. Okay. Because we definitely have to beat this up before we can even do anything. There we go. Do we have... Oh, it's up there. It's a weird spot. There we go. Now this will be somewhat useful. Okay, we'll switch to this one, because then we can grab that. And I assume we switch to this one. And then activate that. Which can then open this door and let us through. I believe that this place was originally Buter's Institute of Clockwork Applications. In the field of clockwork mechanics, Monsieur Buter was one of the leading authorities. However, scientifically, the development and advancement of traditional clockwork machines had reached a bottleneck. In terms of applications, traditional clockwork machines were obviously at a great disadvantage. Anyway, Monsieur Buter's program was slowly being marginalized at the Institute. His funding was cut and they struggled to recruit researchers. After a series of unfortunate incidents, Monsieur Buter's group finally disbanded and this facility was completely abandoned. Monsieur Buter was terribly unlucky if you ask me. Yeah, I still can't forget how Choiseul just kept equivocating. And that Raimondo, so haughty and arrogant. Did you see how he was looking at me? I think you're much better than either of those two. Things would have never turned out like this if you were in their position. Oh. Thought they were going to attack me. They probably are. Maybe we should wait. Yep. This is the last survey anchor. Let's return to the Institute. Kinda curious. Do the adventures of the survey retriever test part of the qualification review? After the initial phase of qualification review, they will try to make contact with the survey anchors under this. Why do they always make us fight while reading? They consumed a lot of our ammonetics. Naka, Mr. Raimondo, the survey anchors have all been retrieved. Looks like we really got the right person for the job this time. Put them over here. Someone will come and handle them. Now, let's get down to business. Come over here, please, David. There are some documents you need to sign. They're so thick. Why are there so many documents? Because no matter how one looks at it, escorting a researcher into the ruins of Fontaine Research Institute and then landing said ruins shall be no matter. And since it is such an important matter, it is only natural for us to explain the detail to the one carrying out the work. Who am I escorting? Why, that'd be Mr. Necker, of course. Across the entire institute, there's no one better suited than him to deal with the central laboratory ruins. I request that I accompany Mr. Necker. What? I think... This is a terrific proposal. Choiseul, did you forget what we mentioned when we came up with the plan? We must keep the public informed about rebuilding the Institute with utmost transparency. That's right. The new Fontaine Research Institute has nothing to hide. Edwin made some mistakes, but we're past that now. Please, go write a report on it. Go to the ruins of the Institute and see the mistakes that Edwin Eastinghouse made. Looking back, the Institute now is just what we've been working toward. The cause we stand for, but allow me to emphasize once again that... And here we go! Paimon's about to fall asleep. Maybe you should call me after you did. That's really my mention. Not to mention how every sentence seems to magically make people fall asleep. Paimon's already feeling sleepy from just half a sentence. No, it's important business, so please, come this way. Under Raimondo's guidance, you sign many complicated documents. Thanks to your prior experience, you finish signing them before you know it. This time. Alright, that should be all of them. Thank you, David. You're now next externally contracted assistant researcher of the Fontaine Research Institute. What about Paimon? Does Paimon get a title? You're my important assistant, Paimon. Assistant? That doesn't sound cool. Haha, don't worry. Assistants play an absolutely critical role within the Institute. But let us get back to business, shall we? Things right now in the Institute are rather complicated. The matters you'll be dealing with are also urgent, so I won't keep you for much longer. While you're on the way, Mr. Naka, we'll inform you of some things to note, as well as what you actually need to do. The rest is up to you. A lot rests on your shoulders, Mr. Naka. Well then, please follow me, David. We must get to the ruins. Sure thing. Don't forget me. Yes, and you. How could I possibly forget you? Mired in red tape. We get to go into the sky cubes now. Come on, David. Miss Connie, this way. So you mean we're going to delve into this patch of water? That's right. With the help of this alley-gravity condensed water, we can ascend the ruins of the Institute safely and efficiently. If you don't wish to do it that way, you may also go the opposite bank and glide in from the highest mountain using a wind glider. Forget it. I'm not good at using a wind glider, and I'm not really used to heights either. Very well. Now, I'll go over a few things to keep in mind when it comes to alley-gravity condensed water. Naka details considerations when making use of said alley-gravity condensed water. So in a nutshell, it's the same as when swimming or diving. I feel like this is more flying or diving. Diving in midair will be quite a novelty. In that case, please do enjoy experiencing it for yourselves. Is everybody ready, Miss Crane? You can still go back out. You can still back out now if you like, and simply wait here for us to return. Reporters never back down. I'll be right behind you guys. I'll try to, anyway. Alright then, if you insist. Let's get going now. Into the water we go. Whoa. What? Wait, no way we were meant to actually just go in that one. We're just skipping half of the map. Can we just jump into this one? Oh, there's a bubble. Cool. Nice. We have direction again. Dang it. I tried to light up. Okay. How far up is it? We've gotten pretty far up. What is that? Okay. Oh, we just went straight through that one. Go to the Fontaine Fountain after this. Or maybe that's why we didn't unlock the statue, because we couldn't. This is the boss. Wait. Do we have to fight this? What's this large plate? That's the experimental field generator that Mr. Edwin developed. Huh? Didn't it already blow up? It looks perfectly fine now. The thing that exploded wasn't this machine, but the Arkham ore that powers its core driver. The Archeum kinetic core. This thing will it suddenly start moving by itself? Relax, this big guy can't move now it's lost its power supply. But didn't Raimondo say that if we needed to use it to make the ruins descend? If it can't move, only a part of it will be activated. The tri-state Archeum can only support its operation at half speed. but that should be enough to relieve the abnormal gravity state the central laboratory ruins are in. Paimon doesn't understand that at all. What do you need us to do? Please follow me. The place where we'll need to work is in the back. Miss Connie, please stay here. Some areas in the back contain Institute secrets, and you're not allowed to have any exposure to them. I can see that back of yours from here. What secrets could be hidden inside? I have no idea either. That's why you're definitely not allowed inside. What nonsense! Anyway, please wait here. If you take any photos randomly, you might capture something related to Institute secrets. For example, the formula for the sugar-free berry-flavored Fanta. This new Fanta product is quite important to the Institute. If you leak any information of it to the outside world, you'll need to undergo a 1-month confidential investigation and must report to the Martin at the Palais Mammonia 3 times every day and be questioned. Of course, you'll need to stop your journalistic work. Ha 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 ha! Don't worry, even if I get taken away by the Palais Memorial for questioning, only because I've uncovered the secret of your hiding. I won't let myself be forced to stop working for a reason as absurd as leaking some Fanta formula. I admire your work ethic. I hope everything goes well with your photo taking. David, let's go. There's still work for us to do. So we don't need to fight it. Then, cool. Because I'm probably going to want to switch teams if we're like actually fighting that. Defeat all of the mecha? There's a lot of mecha over here.
Allow me.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Illusion shattered. Touched.
Right and die that fast?
World.
Okay. Well, we've still got kind of E going, I think. Maybe not, actually. Apparently that was all of them. Sometimes I really don't get why the Institute had designed the support Clockwork mecha to look like humans. Just from the perspective of supporting research, hands and feet are far worse than tracking and malfunctional Clockwork mecha apertures. What's this rock? I'm sure there's a look over here. Yep, okay. Oh, this archeum that supplies the energy to the experimental field generator? What restrains it is the energy supply device created by Mr. Edwin. See this here? This circuit connects to the generator. Of all the inert archeum we found, this one is the best in terms of purity and stability. And then boom it went. That came down to Mr. Edwin. I trust this wasn't the cause, or at least it shouldn't take all the blame. Whoa! It's not gonna blow up again, is it? When that happens, I'm gonna need you to take us to the sky. Let's jump into the water below. Jumping into water from a high place such as this is gonna hurt when we, you know, splash. Actually, this is video game logic, and in video games, you do not take water from water damage. Worst case scenario, but Paimon will tug at me closed and help to absorb the impact. Haha, don't worry, now that Mr. Edwin's not around, we're completely safe. Alright, I'm about to use Raimondo's catalyst to transform this archeum into tri-state archeum and activate that big fellow outside. Then these ruins should be able to safely land on the ground. David, could you please help me take some photos in the area? I need to use them as evidence for my work record. Didn't you just say that photo taking wasn't allowed? It's fine. These will be used for reference in the Institute and won't be disturbed. Unless you secretly keep a few for yourself, which I trust you won't do. Alright. And when you're taking photos, please look for Miss Connie while doing so. I've got no idea where she's run off to, or where she's hiding. I really don't want to start the generator, only to simply find a lady tossed into midair. Take the photo. We have taken the photo, and now we must find Miss Connie. It doesn't look like we need to fight the ones over there. I mean, I'm assuming she's just where she was, but apparently she's not. Yeah, she's still just here. Faith in taking down a boss. How suspicious. What's suspicious? Show me too. Oh, David, you gave me the fright. How are you able to walk around without making any noise? We're just too focused. Speaking of it, you followed us all the way here. Have you managed to find anything? Not really. Since Miss Namaka said all that, I don't really want to get in trouble. In the end, all I could take pictures of were these dilapidated houses, broken rocks, and a motionless machine. I bet I'd be able to take photos of a big scoop that could fly in the air just like you can, Paimon. Why be a reporter if you can fly? I was born to do this. It's the reason I exist. I too am very sure of that, Miss Crone. What? You're able to walk without making any noise? Is this new technology the Institute developed? Unfortunately, we don't teach walking courses. I've already completed all the preparations. In any case, David, please take Miss Crone back to the Institute. Once the experimental field generator is activated, it will rapidly change the gravity in the surrounding area. I've been through professional training, and I know what to do in this situation. For your safety, it'd be best if you stay away from here. And how are you going to get down? You don't need to worry about me. Mr. Edwin taught me how to use the generator personally. No one in the Institute can control this big guy as freely as I can. Not even Raimondo. Guess we'll have to leave it to a professional then. Be careful! Go now. We'll meet again on the surface. Alright. Guess we're not fighting it. Hello, Raimondo. David, you're back. How's the work coming along? That's fine. There's still some finishing touches that ought to be left to professionals, so Mr. Naka's still up there. I feel like I haven't really contributed that much. Don't you say that. You're our safety rope. Without you, dear David, how could we have dared let Mr. Naka go up there by himself? It could be said that the trip was a brilliant success. There were other benefits as well. Miss Connie's managed to photograph some thought-provoking images that she would like to ask me about, and a few of those pictures should prove even more interesting for Mr. Naka. Let's not talk about that for now. Come, let us take a photo together. Monsieur Chausseur will also need to present you with a certificate and an honorary title. Honorary title? Ooh, and what about Paimon? Paimon, we'll also get a promotion from us, is that right? Seeing as you're David's companion, then I guess you could join in the photo. As for the title... So there's no honorary title for Paimon then. Honorary titles must remain limited in quantity, and stay relatively rare. Otherwise, how do we get sponsors and support through awarding them? Oh, alright then. Then allow me to award Paimon the honorary Best Companion, Best Travel Guide. A super awesome title. Hey, what kind of nonsense titles are those? We've already Best Buddies. Paimon doesn't need a title for that. Better make David really awesome. Of course, this honorary title is the highest standing. Besides, having you also been promoted to assistant to honorary senior researcher? Come on, let's get that photo taken. An assistant's still an assistant, no matter how many words you put after it. Alright, let's take the photo. This is an occasion to remember. Monsieur Chessol, you're... Oh, looks like he's having a nice conversation with Miss Connie. Hence, this operation is stepping stone to rebuilding the Institute. We can do it, and is our duty to do so, as it has always been. As for the former site of the Institute, we will keep it preserved forever and rebuild the Fontaine Research Institute Safety Education Center. I think I've just had about enough. I'm certain that everybody has benefited from your speech, Monsieur Chausseur. But now's the time to take a photo together with the traveller, wouldn't you say? Yes, of course. We must take a photo to mark this occasion with our dear honorary senior researcher of the Fontaine Research Institute. Please give us a second, Miss Connie. This shouldn't take too long. Oh, don't worry. It's not like the things you said just now weren't all cliches anyway. Weren't you guys looking to take a photo together? I just so happen to have a camera with me. Please go and stand in position. I traveled a long way to get here, so please, at least make it worth the trip, okay? Oh, cutscene for a photo? Wait, what's happening up there? Just blew up again. Was it an explosion just now? Wait a second, is such submarine screening necessary? What else could it have been? I don't believe that was an explosion, all things considered. It was probably a controllable... That was an explosion! I was nearly blown away just now. If not, what else could it have been? Mr. Soul, could you please explain this to us? And was this something you had anticipated? I must say, you asked a very good question. A very excellent one. As many people are wondering the same thing. The color of these bodies of water. Could have been the condenser components are already in? Wait, Necker hasn't come down yet. You're right, he hasn't returned yet. Let's not delay it, Edward, we need to go now. Wait, I want to go too. The truth behind this explosion. Please don't act rashly, Mr. Reporter. If you dip one of your toes into that water, you'll be saying goodbye to this world within a minute. Don't scare me. Would you please just stay here? David, according to your previous experience, the energy flow that remains in these bodies of water shouldn't affect you too much. Please, get to the ruins as quickly as you can. I'll find my own way up. I'll meet you there. Your own way? I have my ways. After the explosion, I was among one of the first up there to conduct a disaster investigation and evaluation. Things at the time were much more complicated than they are now. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get moving. Hopefully, Mr. Naka won't meet the same fate that Edwin did. Okay. What, we just go up the normal way? Oh, I've got a teleport waypoint now though. Okay, nice. A good spot for it. Oh, that's the boss.
Adventure
Wait.
time.
Is it not? I'm here. Wait. Oh. Oh, why are there so many mech in here? We dismantled so many of them last time, didn't we? Seems the explosion just now has caused Arceum to raise another wave of energy. Please do dismantle them.
There is no... Insolent.
This one does take longer than Yoimiya's team. The Spectre hunting team. It's faster, but takes more damage. Out of control Arceum. It looks like the Arceum overloaded, and the cooling mechanism is also damaged. Naka, what have you done here exactly? This was my fault. I didn't think that Naka would still be unsatisfied despite all the benefits I gave him. Eh? Benefits? Wait a second. Why are you looking at me like that? Did he say anything to you? You tell Raimondo of your encounters with Naka and his attitudes toward various matters. Sweet talk. Did he tell you guys then that it was people like him, Edwin's successors, who were reaping the benefits of this mess by stealing all kinds of information and selling it for a fortune? You guys are telling completely different stories. Paimon doesn't know who to believe anymore. If only he were here, then he would be able to could find out the truth. Paimon doesn't seem at all though. If he's not here, where could he be gone? Maybe he's already escaped. I don't think he was killed at the very least. I'll explain why later. For now though, we must stabilize the Arceum as quickly as we can. The suppression system shut down, and the ore is presently in an excited state. That is what caused the explosion. What caused the explosion? This big rock doesn't look blown up at all. Don't understand. Alright, I agree. But this is quite difficult to understand. I'll explain it in simpler terms for you. I guess I have no choice now. The experimental field generator that Edward created is extremely powerful and can manipulate gravity. This, I believe you know already. After the explosion, all the Arceum in the Institute shattered into fragments. Among these fragments, many of them could have turned into an excited state and triggered an explosion at any time. With the use of gravity fields, they were all restrained and gathered beneath our feet. That explosion just before was A small one caused by a small part of Archeum in the ruins that was affected by the energy flow. I guess you could call it a minor rehearsal of a third great explosion. Aha, then this ruin is a super huge, ready to explode piece of Archeum? So you guys did all this not because you wanted to retrieve assets, but because you were scared that this place would explode again? That's just one of the objectives of this operation. But right now, our priority is to retrieve the condensing components that fell into the water and restart the suppression device. There's also this Archeum inside those components, and the intense energy flow has likely caused unpredictable changes to the water bodies. Forgive me, but I'm not really capable of retrieving them and installing them back on the inhibitor. Only you are capable of doing this, David. Please, for the court of Fontaine and Insurgent, I'll just get the job done first. Once this is over, you better explain everything clearly. If all goes well, I'll tell you everything I know. Well, drat, the energy flow is too strong here. I need to take more medicine. About the real reason for the explosion at the Fontaine Institute. You're quite inquisitive, but now's not the time for a long conversation. Please go and retrieve the condensing components first. Oh well, we literally can't go into the water anymore.
Off we go. Illusion shattered.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's lock. Torn to oblivion.
No.
Shine down. Everybody stand back.
Nice and spicy.
Well, it's so weird today. This whatever's going on. Like, why do I have to do all this to get to one single thing? Oh, we got in there. Whoa. Transformed body water, a liquid, damaging liquid that has been modified somehow by the energy flowing from the condensation. If you remain within the liquid for too long, you'll accumulate turbulent energy flow. If you hit the accumulation limit, all your characters will drown. Oh jeez, okay. What are we trying to get though? I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh, this? Retrieve. Okay. That's what we need to get rid of everything. The hardest part is getting to it, it seems. Okay. Do we keep going up? What got here? What now? Oh, there we go. Okay. Follow the bubble. We're getting lower and lower. Now we're going higher. What? Is this gonna get us in? Yep. Okay. Grabbed it.
An activity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Let's make it faster to get across. There's a bubble up there. Oh, wait, are we going to the other one or are we going to this one? Oh, that was really quick. Okay. Oh, whoa. Oh, we have to go out? Never mind then. It's not gonna let us through. It's boring. Oh. Oh, I don't know why I tried to do that. Can I go back in? We can go back in. Can we get back up? Or is that how I'm meant to get around it? This is an interesting use of it. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's a maze? Row. I mean, easy mazes, but still. Oh, did we get in now? No. Oh, we got it. Only one left. It's got Inazuma feels. Well, that's far away. Should be able to get there though. Oh, never mind, it's not far away. I definitely would be able to get to that one though. We just shoot the bubbles? Okay. Doesn't let us jump off. Yeah, this should get us in, I reckon, or not. And take us to the other one. Or it's just gonna take us around. No, it's gonna let us into this one. but this will get us into it. Yep. We got in. Now we just grab this, and we're done. Now we head back. Oh, over here? Okay.
I won't hold you back.
Well, this is running. I don't know if it was running before. That Mr. Naka really knows how to create trouble for others, just like that boss of his, Edwin Eastinghouse. What are you doing here? We really can't catch a break. Not only did the explosion break off the condensing components of the device, but it also destroyed the self-sustaining system of the inhibitor. I'm about to remove the two backup Nemosia cores in the experimental field generator and use them to supply energy to the inhibitor. Luckily, this big fella can't move, otherwise we wouldn't even have time to run. It's just not moving right now, you mean? Hey, knock on wood! Don't say things like that. What if it actually starts moving? Don't worry, its main source of energy is that big chunk of Archeum behind it. Although Archeum has transformed into an activated state, the explosion damaged the energy supply lines, so lost all of its energy supply. Ah! The Archeum kinetic core should have been right here. Where did... Oh, hold on, did you say the Nemosia cores were a backup energy source? And isn't the activation condition for backup energy source the complete loss of energy? Oh. Uh-oh. Well, now I have to fight it. Oh, when does this start moving? Oh, you would start. Edwin, you scoundrel, what did you do to this thing?
I'm the frying pan. It's
Illusion
Dead
shattered.
on there, you can turn it off
Inazuma
now.
shines eternal.
Don't worry, the two motor cores powering up right now, so it should be fully functional. That's easy for you to say. Time on. Oh, fly like this.
I'm going in. Rain cutter. No, my soul.
Don't worry, it's
Rain
easy.
outlines.
It's down already. It stopped. I knew you could do it. Quick, grab those two cores. Let's go hook up the power. Just like before, you go connect the energy source, I'll adjust the device. Oh no. Is that good or bad? Looks to be good. Finally, it's stabilized. The Archeum has transformed to a inert state, and the Fontaine Research Institute is safe for now. But it seems there are even more secrets. As for the things you'd like to know, I'll be happy to answer, but not right now. What I can tell you is, based on my whole hypothesis, is that Mr. Naka stole the Archeum kinetic core and triggered this small explosion. But before explaining in too much detail, we should return to the Institute and place the proper notation and petitions into this interlude. Or at the very least, we need to stop Miss Journalist from getting more deeply involved. The Archeum kinetic core is connected to too many other matters, and we must handle it in complete confidentiality. So I'd like you to cooperate with my work. Cooperate with your work? You're not saying to play along with your lies, are you? The scarier someone is, the more you should share with others. Then we can all work together to deal with it faster. I have my doubts about that, you two. Every matter has its own way of being dealt with, and in this instance we must first call for silence. But I promise that I would never have you steer from your moral standards or demand that you have the same standard of behavior as we do. As all I ask is for you to remain quiet. You need not do anything else. You might be wondering why I would have you remain silent while telling you the truth. I'll just come out and say it now. Your coming here is only good fortune that our institute has had in nearly 100 years. No matter what happens, or what the cost is, we must maintain good relations with you. I'm sure Miss Choisel feels the same way. Mr. Choisel feels... Is telling the truth also a cost as far as you're concerned? Is transparency something you'd consider a cost as well? Yeah, and you're the only one telling the truth, right? You're the one telling us the truth now, which you should have sort of done ages ago. What sort of cost is that? Dear Sir Paimon, Telling you the truth honestly is, in truth, the greatest price one can pay. Let's go back. I sincerely ask for your understanding and provide all necessary cooperation. Add an end for now, but if it goes any longer, I might just stop for now. She teleported. Miss Connie, everything we do is in the best interests of the people at the court of Fontaine. So what you're saying is that the Fontaine Research Institute predicted the explosion just now. Are you kidding? Do you think I'm a gestionnaire? You can't hoodwink me that easily. I think Monsieur Choiseul has expressed himself clearly enough. The situation is still under control. The status quo of the court of Fontaine will not be affected. Now, allow me to make a statement explaining the events that really occurred. That's enough, mister. I don't believe you for a second. David, you should have seen everything, right? I'm begging you, tell me the truth. No need to bother David anymore, Miss Connie. Allow me to explain the truth. Don't even think of trying to get away with it, Mr. Raimondo. I saw the Archeum with my own eyes. The explosion must have been caused by it. Did you not repeatedly emphasize before that all the Archeum had been properly processed and disposed of? Just what are you hiding? Oh, mischaracter. I haven't hidden anything. Anything. This explosion was always a controllable hazard removal direction blast. Controllable hazard? Wait, hazard removal? What? Mind you, all don't bite your tongues on that. It basically means to use small controlled blast to quickly remove Archeum fragments, with the goal of activating the experimental field generator as quickly as possible. But couldn't have imagined that Mr. Naka would steal from the Archeum kinetic core needed to start the experimental field generator. Not only that, but he intentionally activated the large chunk of Archeum, using it to draw our attention while he made his escape. So, is that the ploy you came up with just now? To dump all the blame onto a researcher who could be dead right now for all you know? I think what you really want to hide is that you are completely incapable of dealing with Archeum. The Archeum is still a major threat to the court of Fontaine. Ridiculous. A person's life isn't something you can throw away just to help spread your own lies. I have already told you the truth, Miss Connie. Please listen to a final word of advice. It takes only the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but it always takes more brainpower to avert your gaze from it. Enough! I won't listen to another word you say, nor will I dwell on this. Your words, deeds, and all the facts concealed by the Institute will be reported on the next issue on the Seabird. Good day, gentlemen. Well, she's gone now. That's what they wanted, right? Thank goodness that's finally over with. Oh, and thank you too, David. Just did what I should. Ah, such humility. In this day and age, those who do what they should are already outstanding. You didn't make assumptions about whether something is good or bad based on your subjective thoughts. Instead, you think carefully about what you do and say for the sake of the greater good. Truly an excellent person. But is it really okay? Palmer still thinks that we should tell everyone the truth. There is no need to bear such a heavy burden, dear David. You only cooperated after listening to my repeated entreaties. I'm a senior technician of the Fontaine Research Institute, and the responsibility for this matter falls squarely on me and me alone. Miss Connie said. She has already obtained the truth she wants for herself. I wish her well. But as for us, we still have much to be concerned about. For example, the whereabouts of Mr. Naka and the Archeum kinetic core. Aha! But shouldn't we first give you a few awards as well, Monsieur Choiseul? Right. Let us take another group photo together. The one we took before had an unseemly explosion in the background. This new photo must be decent enough to be worthy of your status as honorary senior researcher. Choiseul and Raimondo stand in the same positions as before, and the Institute takes a photo for everyone. Perfect. Look at us. A decent bunch of decent people. An Osmanthus award ceremony has finally ended. This scene isn't explosive enough. Hey, stop it! Never exploding. Any more explosions prevent more from nightmares. The certificate and trophy are for you. I'll post a copy on the Institute bulletin board later. I hope our researchers will follow your example. On this path, we must strive to take the lead, overcome all obstacles, and put in 120% of our... Actually, I have more questions for you. Oh, of course! I even know what you want to ask. Even though your questions are all, extremely complicated, I'm willing to answer them. In any case, I believe we'll have more opportunities to work together in the future on our senior researcher. Woo! That was a long one. This ends here. Is there something I can help you with? A lot of questions. Why do you think that Naka is still alive? Considering the interest of the Institute, my personal point of view, I do in fact hope that both he and the Archeum kinetic core were obliterated in that explosion. Wow, okay. That would mean that the last traces of Edwin Eastinghouse's influence here would be gone for good. But like I said earlier, that explosion was actually a small-scale Archeum fragment resonance. Moreover, most of the Archeum fragments in that explosion radius were all waste that had been fully depleted of energy. Logically speaking, even if a large Archeum chunk had gone out of control, causing the ore to waste to resonance, such a violent explosion should not have occurred. The only possibility is that someone specially collected Archeum that has not been depleted from other areas and piled them here. Then they overloaded that large Archeum chunk on purpose to create an Archeum resonance so as to trigger an explosion to cover up certain traces that would have existed otherwise. Naka has always conducted research with Edmund's good understanding of the nature of Archeum. It wouldn't take him much effort to do something like this. Still, that's just my preliminary conjecture. As for what happens next, we'll need to wait for the Research Institute to conduct a more detailed investigation. But why do you steal this core? This Archeum kinetic core is the most cutting-edge technology created by the Fontaine Research Institute to date. It wouldn't be a bad idea to sell it or use it in the development project of another project. But considering his level of academic expertise, I would rather he sell this Archeum kinetic core for a good price. Okay, so you want him to sell it. About the kinetic core. Before we discuss this further, I believe Nako and Miss Crunny must have mentioned something to you already. They must have told you that my research projects of those of Edwin Eastinghouse had some overlap. But this is not entirely accurate. In fact, this Archeum kinetic core is the fruit of my joint research with him. In theory, if we constantly inject this kinetic core with enough energy, it can easily allow the experimental field generator to run at full power. After creating this core, we both realized a problem. We could barely find any way to keep injecting it with enough energy to keep it at maximum power. Edwin and I tried powering it with a mixture of Nemosia and Archeum energy, or by connecting large numbers of Archeum core in a series to create a superpowered group, but neither worked. That was the situation until we find that giant Archeum. Although it was always in an inert state, Edwin and I were certain that this ore had an unprecedented purity. We believed that with the right treatment, this ore could definitely be put to the large amount of energy we needed. But then, Edwin and I had a disagreement. I offered up a more conservative proposal, and he wanted to solve the problem rather more quickly. You should know everything else that happened after that. Ah, if it isn't an honorary senior researcher, welcome. Can I help you with anything? See ya. I don't feel the need to, but like, the questions are interesting. About Edwin. He was a genius in the field of scientific research. It's no exaggeration to say that his talent was only second to our first director, Elaine Guillotine. At that time, he was an inhuman monster. Nothing mattered to him other than his scientific research. Edwin was willing to do anything or pay any price to advance his research. He once told me that his research results were the only remuneration he needed. He said, "I don't need any remuneration. To me, research itself is the best reward." However, even though Edwin was a pure researcher, the people under him were all experts, in furthering their own interests, that is. Some secretly sold research assets, some plagiarized research results, and some used his name to scam others. They ruined the Fontaine Research Institute's reputation little by little. Like I said before, as long as research could advance, Edwin wouldn't do anything about this. In this way, they used Edwin's name to take all the Institute's resources for themselves. The Institute could only continue to conduct detailed reviews on personnel and funding of Edwin's project team. Mr. Choiseul led many of these reviews operations personally. However, in the mouths of such people, these actions were constructed as bureaucratic arrogance and distrust of researchers. More and more conflicts took place between us, and no one knew how to resolve them. But now, those conflicts no longer exist. Yep. Why did you come up first? You're on the other side of the... Okay. What are you... about the current situation? Aha, your question is not a technical one, but rather an administrative one. I think you should ask Mr. Choisel about this instead. Why do you think Naka stole the core? Do you still remember me flipping through the pictures of Miss Connie took in the ruins? There's one of Naka working in front of the suppression device. It's quite blurry, but I'm quite certain that his actions are definitely not part of any operation procedure. That doesn't really mean anything, though. Maybe a thief came flying across from nearby and mountain and stole the core. No, that's most definitely impossible. The energy flow of Arceum here is the best anti-theft measure there is. No ordinary person can withstand it. Besides, the timing of the experimental field generator's activation is simply too perfect. It cannot be a mere coincidence. I have a preliminary conjecture. Naka, or should I say, the one who stole the core, likely removed the Arceum Kinetic core early on, activating the backup energy source. However, the motion cores are relatively inefficient energy sources, and they have to keep up a continuous output of energy to reach the activation threshold of this contraption here. Hence, this person intentionally activated the large Arceum chunk, creating a modest but rather noticeable explosion. This way, when the Institute sent someone to investigate, they would be certain to fix the Arceum inhibitor first. And by the time they realized that they'd have to go to the experimental field generator to retrieve the backup energy supply, the generator would have already finished charging. From a technical perspective, such a modus operandi is highly probable, and those within the Institute capable of doing this would only be Edwin, Miss Naka, and myself. I doubt Edwin had the opportunity to do anything to that effect, which leaves two remaining suspects, myself and Miss Naka. Maybe this was your doing then. Yeah, you said Naka lied, but you've also been lying to us all along. Maybe this was part of your plan. You tricked us into escorting us here so you could grab whatever it was you wanted. Your accusation is non-entirely baseless. After this, I will also apply for and submit myself to the Institute's credibility review. As far as I'm concerned, though, Miss Naka is the one more likely to have committed this act. If this really was his doing, then he should be the one with the most gain from it. Even if I am listed alongside him as a suspect, his chances of being convicted are certainly greater than mine. He didn't say he didn't do it, though. Well, I guess there was one question that about the Institute's current state. Everything is good. It's better than ever. Now that the enigmatic Edwin is gone, the gang of thieves under him no longer exists either. More importantly, the Institute has a chance to be reborn. We can take off the shackles of burdens of the past and focus wholeheartedly on rebuilding the foundations once again. That is, to work hard for the well-being of all the people of the court in Fontaine. I'm currently gathering more people and preparing a code of conduct for our organization. I will include principles of the use of funds, research asset materials management, and ethical standards that should be observed in scientific research and work. All research-related behavior at our institute will have relevant rules and provisions. Ah, what wonderful future. It's simply the best.